how when you die you go in the void, and that that some people are so uncomfortable in the void that they jump into the first story, you know, reincarnation or their religious figure, you know, they jump into the next story really quickly and they don't spend very much time in the void learning about their power. And I started to think, you know, maybe that's what's going on right now on this planet. Maybe what's happening is that we don't have any stories right now that are exciting us. All the stories that are out there are kind of stories of the dying structures, right? The economic collapse, the jobs going overseas, the, you know, college tuitions going skyrocketing, no jobs available for our kids, blah, 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 blah. There's very few stories available to anybody in our culture that are really exciting and interesting and fun and make us want to go, yes, and jump out of bed every morning and go, God, it's just great to be alive, and that's so exciting and that's so interesting. Because we're in a void point. Racially, we are going through a transformation to a higher state of consciousness. So we're in a void point right now, which is like death, which is that we don't have the new stories in place yet. And the old stories can no longer feed us. So everybody's kind of treading water in the, you know, as the old stories are coming to an end, and nobody's willing to invest their passion in any of the stories that are out there because they're still old structure stories. The new stories haven't shown up yet. So I think what's happening, and I think what this grief is about, is that culturally, we are having to grieve to prepare the ground for the new story, for the new stories that are coming. We have to prepare the ground, because as long as those old stories are still, you know, you can't plant a garden in the spring unless, you can't put new plants in the garden if there's old plants taking up, right? There's old roots and old stalks and all that, right? You got to clean the garden out in the spring, right? Those of you who are gardeners, you got to clean out the old stuff and then prepare the soil for what you're going to grow. And I think that that's where we are right now, is that we're in the, let's clean out the old roots. Let's clean out the old ways of thinking. Let's clean out all those old beliefs about you got to have a job, you got to work till you're 70, you got to, you know, the government's going to take care of you, you know, blah, 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 blah. All those old stories which are falling apart and causing people tremendous fear, because it's like, if I'm not going to get my Social Security and I'm not going to get my health care, how in the world am I going to live? Well, what if part of the news story was your body knows how to heal itself instantly? How cool would that be? Like, all you have to do is, you know, spend some attention every week working with your body, visualizing what perfect health looks and feels like, and your body can repair itself. Well, then, would you need health insurance? Would you need Social Security? No. If you were passionately involved in a story that you loved, doing work that you loved, would you need to be taken care of? No. What I understand, the transition that we're going through right now is from third dimension to fifth dimension reality, and that this is the first time ever in the history of manifestation that the physical body is being allowed to go to the fifth dimension without dying first. So that this is kind of an experiment, and we're all here because we wanted to see what that was going to be like. Yeah, let's go to Earth, 1953, because then we're going to be there for that 2012 transformation, and I would like to see what that looks like, to take my body to the fifth dimension without having to die first.